All right, boys, what are we filming today? And what is that great sound? There's no speakers in here, right? No speakers? Yeah. What is that? Oh, wow. I have never heard them sound that great before. So between clicking on this video, of course, and seeing that intro, y'all have probably guessed that this is the best sounding in-ceiling speaker yet from GoldenEar. And not only does it sound great, it works well in almost any application or role. So I want to break down how exactly they did this and what exactly this is packing that we haven't seen yet before from GoldenEar. Of course, before we do that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon since a lot of cool stuff's on the way. And question of the day, what's the best in-ceiling audio product that you've ever heard? All right, so quick recap about GoldenEar. You may remember that this is the third company founded by speaker legend Sandy Gross, who had previously helped to found two of the other biggest players in this industry. And by the time he got to GoldenEar, he had a vast wealth of wisdom that he had learned along the way and wanted to make his best product yet. And that's precisely what he's been doing for many years now, and the GoldenEar speaker has become pretty much a household name among audiophiles, and they're known for having a wide product range across many different price points that can serve almost anybody really well. And some of you may even be familiar with the previous models of GoldenEar in-ceiling, like the Invisa 525, the Invisa 650, which were great distributed audio speakers, or the former, and still here, HTR 7000, which was like their first really high-performance in-ceiling speaker. The 8000 builds upon that legacy by giving us a larger woofer, but more importantly, this is where the detail really adds up, the Reference Series high-velocity folded ribbon tweeter. GoldenEar uses an AMT tweeter. By AMT, we mean air motion transformer, what they call the high-velocity folded ribbon, which is essentially a planar tweeter that works a little bit differently. Rather than just being a flat surface sandwiched in between magnets, this device right here is kind of like in a glorified accordion shape that compresses in and out to make those high mids and really high frequency sounds and your treble range. The really cool thing about AMTs, every tweeter kind of has its character, but the thing that I've noticed about these, they have a great speed and this nice sense of air. And the Reference Series tweeter just takes all those levels of detail, well, to the next level, as you may imagine. The HTR 8000 is one really well put together in-ceiling product. And you're gonna see that between the drivers themselves, the motors that I can show you on the back of this, and even the crossover network, they meant it when they said they wanted to make a Reference Series in-ceiling. So then, let's take a closer look. So let's start, of course, with the design of the speaker's outer shell and the drivers that we can see right here. That big GoldenEar 8-inch woofer, and also borrowing from the Triton Towers, that veined phase plug right in the middle. Yep, definitely some GoldenEar design language going on here. But check this out. As we come out from the woofer, you can actually see ribs in the casing working as a bit of a waveguide to help direct those frequencies straight in the direction of where the speaker is pointed. Because as you can see with the angled shape, it is designed to be a directional speaker. These are going to provide a nice sense of stereo image and feel like they're coming down to floor level a little bit more than your average in-ceiling. It's quite deceptive actually, in the good way. Looking at the tweeter, we got the same alignment right in front of that woofer. Generally, what you want to do with an in-ceiling speaker like this is to get this tweeter a little bit closer to you because it actually helps with the integration of the overall sound. And looking closely, we can see, that sweet surface area on that GoldenEar Reference Series AMT or high velocity folded ribbon. And a little bit about how you actually install this, and I'll show you the other side of this in just a minute, but notice the 4 screw holes. These are how you're going to secure your speaker to your ceiling. You're going to pop this in a hole that you make, take a screwdriver of course, and start turning these, and it's going to pop out little dog legs that grab and pull the speaker in tight. I'll show you the other side of how that works. Really easy to actually install these. A lot easier than you're probably thinking if it's something that you have to do yourself. But that being said, we're Gramophone, Installations like these is our bread and butter all day, every day. So if you want great pair of in-ceilings in your home and you need someone to do it, well, that's us. One small detail I love is the GoldenEar logo etched right into the edge of the bezel. Despite the fact that that is going to be covered up, they're definitely showing some pride in a flagship series product. So it's just a little small detail I enjoy. And going around the perimeter here, you can see something magical. Good old-fashioned magnets, and that is how you will secure your grill. And as you can see, the grill is very unassuming, meant to blend right into your ceiling as much as possible, and you can actually paint these, by the way. So you're not stuck with the flat white if you don't want it. Really, you can do any color of your choosing, but considering most people have, ceiling white ceilings, there you go. And of course, if you ever need to access the speaker, it pops right off. One last feature to point out on the top side of this speaker, this little magic switch right here. This is an attenuator that allows you to either leave it alone in the middle position, boost or reduce high frequencies by just a couple decibels so you can get this speaker dialed in to precisely what you want to hear. Now I got to show you how this is built, so let's flip it around. This motor on the back of this woofer in this thick high gauge wiring all looks like something that should have been in a floor standing speaker. And that is precisely the point, because this is the woofers that come out of the Tritons adapted for in-ceiling use. Looking at the front here, we can see great spring-loaded binding posts, and I don't know if I've ever showed you a crossover network here on the channel before, but here you go. And basically, this is a really nice crossover. You've got two very nice looking coil packs and very specific GoldenEar capacitors, and these are also from their top-end products. Everything about this is a reference series GoldenEar speaker just put into the ceiling. And one last note, remember those screws we talked about? As you tighten them up, these will pop out, grab on to the structure of your ceiling, and secure your speaker. Works really well. So what are the advantages and some of the considerations that come with having a speaker like the HTR 8000? On the advantages side, this is just quite simply and objectively saying one of the best sounding in-ceiling speakers available. Or if you're in a situation in which you can't have in-room speakers and really your only solution is in-ceiling, this is great. And finally, not only is this one of the best in-ceiling speakers around, it's also one of the best values, because to do objectively better than this cost 2.5 times the price. So all things considered, especially when taking in budgeting, it is definitely not something to overlook, because for its price point, it excels and punches above. Now, of course, as with any product, there are a few considerations. First and foremost, this is a whopper of an in-ceiling speaker. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, just something that you need to be aware of. You got to cut a pretty big hole for this, and you got to make sure that you're going to be comfortable with how this looks in the room. Now, that said, with your grill here, it can look pretty unassuming, especially if you paint this to match. But I still think it integrates pretty well, all that being said. Finally, unless you're using this standalone, be it for distributed audio or you're making an entire in-ceiling multi-channel system, if you don't have the front speakers to match, like say you don't have at least a reference GoldenEar something up front in your theater or watching space, and you put in a speaker like this for surround or height, it's gonna be a little lopsided, as in you wanna put most of your budget into that front stage. So keep in mind, this is really made to pair up with other GoldenEar flagship products or other products that would be on that same tier level. I do overall give the HTR 8000 my recommendation, and it's really nice to see that GoldenEar has a reference option in virtually every category of their speakers now, and now, of course, including in-ceiling. And really, this is almost in a class of its own. The number of speakers that can actually attempt to compete with this in the in-ceiling category is less than I can count on my hand. So you know that this really is standing among the absolute best in its category. So if you're ready to upgrade to one of the best in-ceiling speaker experiences you can possibly have, whatever your use case may be, as this is such a flexible unit, click the link down below, head on over to skybygramophone.com. You will find these on sale for just under $1,000. You can check out securely, fast and free shipping. And of course, if you want to check these out in person and come talk to one of our client advisors about having a system installed in your home, stop by one of our showroom locations. You'll find us in Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland. We also have a lovely kitchen design center in Hunt Valley. All right, my friends, hope you enjoyed. Please give me a thumbs up if you had a good time with this video. Also, let me know what you want to see us review. Be seen.